Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel, and today we're listening to the Gorillaz self-titled, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I've never listened to this album before. I've of course heard Clint Eastwood off of this album, and I think I've heard 5-4 as well. I don't think I've heard anything else though. I've heard a couple other Gorillaz albums. I've heard Demon Days, Plastic Beach, Song Machine, and the new album Cracker Island. Cracker Island I'm kind of whatever on, but the other three I think are all genuinely great albums. Demon Days is just such a fun, ridiculous, creative-ass album. Plastic Beach is this incredible, conceptual, gorgeous masterpiece. And then Song Machine is just a great return to form for the band, considering how mixed both Humans and whatever the fuck that other album's got, the Now are both received. Yeah, I'm a big Gorillaz fan, despite not having heard all of their stuff, and I'm very excited to get into this one. This album came out in 2001. It is 15 tracks, 57 minutes. It's a pretty long album, but honestly, I don't mind, because I'm excited as hell to get into this one. Whatever, let's just get straight into this. Track 1, Rehash. I don't remember this song at all. Yeah, I really don't remember anything about this song, I can't lie. Yeah, this album... The general impression I get without having heard it is that this is just kind of Damon Albarn having some fun. Like, of course, Gorillaz has become, like, the focus, and it's sort of a lot more of a serious project now. But the general impression of this album I get is just Damon Albarn doing, like, a fun side thing, you know? Just kind of fucking with it and seeing, like, what he can do with it. And I think that's kind of the perfect way to start Gorillaz, considering what this band is. Just fucking around. It's basically the perfect way to start off a discography like this. Basically just a collab album with Deltron 3030. I mean, that's a good thing, no? Good opener. I didn't really remember much about that track. I don't remember when I was even sent it in. But, yeah, very fitting way to start off Gorillaz. It's got, like, all of the weird, goofy shit that you'd expect off of one of the more upbeat Gorillaz tracks, like the very strange backing vocals, constant repetition. Feels very cartoony as well. And I think it's honestly a surprisingly very strong execution of that style. You can sort of feel them kind of piecing it together as they're going along throughout this track a little bit. It does very much have the rawness, and the it's not as cleanly put together as Gorillaz' later stuff, especially Demon Days coming right after this. That album's a lot more well put together. But the rawness and the sort of almost amateurish nature of this, it's very charming, and it's working for me, on that first song at least. I would give that, I think, a high 8, like an 8.7. Up next we have 5-4. I think I've heard this song, but it's possible that I haven't heard this song. Look at that, it's in 5-4. They didn't lie.
My job for me, my job make no sound. Good for me.
5/4 polyrhythm? We're getting a fucking polyrhythm on a Gorillaz song. Is this Tool?
Echo for me underground. Magic on me.
I guess this would be 4/5. That's so cool.
My job for me.
This is definitely 5/4.
Always walk through you, walk through you.
You gotta get that those 4 bars for it to be resolved.
Walk through you, walk through you, walk through you. She made me kill myself. Come on. Come on.
Okay, this bit's just in 4.
She turned my dad on. Come on. She turned my dad on. Come on. She turned my dad on. She turned my dad on. Dad on.
I mean, they stuck with their promise. The song did have a lot of stuff in 5/4. They even had a polyrhythm in there. They're getting progressive with it, ladies and gentlemen. I really like that one. That was fun. That was a very fun track. I thought I'd heard this one, but I definitely haven't. Yeah, fun playing with time signatures on that one. Very ridiculous lyrics that I honestly wasn't paying much attention to, and even when I did, he's talking about like she turned my dad on and shit like that. Just lyrics that I guess aren't even meant to mean anything, and then you just got this crazy, overwhelming instrumental with just these constant fucking switch ups, the very distorted Jesus fucking Christ, synth coming in as well. Oh my god, I should probably like clear my throat or like drink some tea with honey in it or some shit before I speak. Anyway, that song, 8.5. We're off to a very strong start with this album. Tomorrow comes today. This one has almost like a trip-hoppy feel to it. Damn, that's so cool. Seriously though, this is looking to be my favorite so far. Whoa, that bass. This entire album is trip-hop. This one in particular feels the most trip-hop so far. The bass here feels like it's ripped straight out of a fucking Massive Attack song. Oh, really? That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But did it sound the same as this? Was it still like a trip hoppy song, or was it more rock focused? I'd be interested to see Blur's version of that. I give the song a solid 9.6. Best song so far by kind of a landslide, to be honest. It feels like the bass and the drums from this song could be ripped straight out of a fucking Massive Attack song, and then you get one of Damon Albarn's most like you get a surprisingly emotional performance out of Damon Albarn on this song, which I wouldn't expect from this first Gorillaz album. I thought it would all be like super silly shit, but no, you actually get a compelling performance out of him. And on top of that, you got like all of the whistling and stuff in the back half, cool harmonica shit as well, which I like a lot. Yeah, Tomorrow Comes Today, very fun, trip hoppy, such a dark track aesthetically as well. Nice. New Genius. They consider me the new genius the way I'm able to pick apart these lyrics. Whoa.
I live on my world, going on my head down to somewhere, going on a dance all tune, and a pressure today.
Very sinister beat. Yeah, I'm praising the harmonica on the last song. Damon Albarn's performance here is making him sound like a harmonica. And I don't know if I mean that in a good way or a bad way. Melodic there.
Do what you must do. Don't trust people you meet.
Okay. Record scratch vocals. I'm gonna try and piece these lyrics together. It seems to be like he's talking about not trusting people, like doing what you have to do to people you don't trust. But there's so much shit in here that just isn't adding up to me. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna cheat. We're using Genius. Within the canon, lead singer 2D wrote the song for Gorillaz bassist Murdoch. The song, written in a 12-bar blues format, features several references to African American music, even sampling. Okay, that doesn't tell me what the song's about. Oh. Okay, so this song is essentially, while he is on drugs, he kills someone because he doesn't trust them in his, you know, drug-infused state. So he kills them, and then he's like sort of manipulating these people, brother, sister, do what you want to do, sort of just being like, hey, I'm gonna manipulate your innocence, and I'm gonna tell you that you have to be like me, essentially. That's essentially what Genius is telling me here. Thank you, Genius. I give this song a high 7, I think. The lyrics are just a little too vague. Like, I'm sat here trying to piece this shit together, and it just doesn't really feel like it comes together necessarily. Like, looking it up, I understand what the song means, but it sort of feels like it's a little inconsistent, and it's sort of like, first it's talking about him doing drugs, then he's killing someone, then he's manipulating these people, then it's back to him being on drugs out on the street again. It just sort of feels like it's a little all over the place lyrically. And then instrumentally as well, it just feels... While I think that the instrumental is very, very solid, it just isn't... It's just the least interesting up to this point. Actually, now the more I think about it, I think I'd give this song more like a high 6. Like a 6.8, I think. I don't know, this song just feels a little scattershot. I still think it's in the positive, still think it's in the green, but it's definitely the weakest track so far, especially coming after Tomorrow Comes Today. Up next we have a song that everyone has heard. We have Clint Eastwood.
Sunshine.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. Now, time for me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's.
This is definitely like
now
the
you
most
shouldn't be
defining
scared.
song
I'm
of theirs,
good
I
at
guess.
repairs, and I'm under each snare. That's you with one go.
I'm feeling glad I got sunshine in a bag. I'm useless, not for long. The future is coming on.
I just noticed that that's right there. I never noticed that before.
The essence, the basics, without it you make it. Allow me to make this childlike in nature. Y'all can see me now cause you
Yeah,
don't see
this song's
with your
nearly
eye.
6 minutes.
You perceive leave with your mind, that's the inner. So I'ma stick around with Russ and be a mentor. Bust a few rhymes so motherfuckers remember what the thought is. I brought all this so you can survive when law is lawless. Feeling sensations that you thought was dead. No squealing, remember that it's all in your head.
Hey, it happens. It's coming on, it's coming on.
I am going to be completely honest. With this song, I do have a bit of trouble getting into it because it's so lore-based. And I'm going to be honest, I really don't care for the Gorillaz lore all that much. Some of it's kind of cool, but for the most part, I'm just kind of like, it just feels so whatever to me. And with this song being very steeped in like sort of world building for Gorillaz, it just kind of feels a little like, lyrically to me. Oh yeah, no, the instrumental here is amazing. Great Deltron feature as well. Oh well, Del the Funky Homo Sapien. That's really not just Deltron. Outro's your favorite part of the song? I actually really like this longer outro. It actually really fits this song. Yeah, Clint Eastwood's it's a great track, honestly. It's just, I think, not the strongest so far, because it is so heavily steeped in the lore. I just kind of have a bit of trouble getting into the song lyrically, because again, I don't really give a shit about the Gorillaz lore all that much. They do some cool stuff when it gets to Plastic Beach and Song Machine and stuff like that, but outside of that, I just don't care for the lore. But the song itself is pretty great. Great Deltron feature. I think the instrumental on this track, you get like isn't it like the main instrumental is just like a fucking preset sample on some like is it a drum machine or something? I don't remember. Like the instrumental's just like a preset sample that they use on this, which is pretty cool, and they just sort of build around that. I think that's great. It's just such a creative way of building out an instrumental like this, and I think the way they sort of add extra bits onto here is really cool. Yeah, I also don't mind the length of this song either. It's nearly 6 minutes, but it feels earned. Like the almost, what is it, 2-minute outro of this song or whatever it is actually works really, really well because of course this album's very like trip hop inspired. It just sort of feels like it's kind of hypnotic, and I get very locked into it very easily. I think the instrumental is definitely the strongest part of this song for me. It's held back a little bit by some lyrical disconnection, rather. But besides that, I think this is a fun track instrumentally, and it has a great feature, so it gets an 8.2 for me. Yeah, it's the fucking beat that they're using, yeah. It's so cool.
It's the Rock 1 preset. But it gets even more. Finally! I'm not getting me out of my cage. It just came like that. That's it, that's the preset. It's the...
That's so cool. Like, stuff like that, I just find really interesting. Like how that an entire song can just spawn from listening to that. That's so fucking cool. Alright, up next we have Man Research. Songs hit or miss for people. I should be keeping track of my scores on Album of the Year, actually. Yeah, this is one of the lower rated ones. Still got 7 though.
This is a breakfast club.
Tom York type. How does this sound like Tom York? Okay, it's looking like we got our first miss here, unfortunately. I don't care for this at all. I don't like the vocals at all. I think that the writing here, the writing seems to be a big problem for me on this album, with it just feeling a little disjointed. This instrumental just feels a little drab as well. I'm just not really getting much out of it. Yeah, this is definitely my least favorite so far. That song just feels so devoid of structure or balance. A lot of times I say a song doesn't feel like it has a consistent through line. This song doesn't even have a through line. It just sort of feels like, I don't even know, it feels like they had an idea for a song and just didn't develop it at all. Like they just kind of had, like recorded some scratch takes and stuff, just kind of like, oh, I could have this melodic idea here, oh, we could do this with the instrumental here and build off of this. And they just didn't take it any further. That's what that song feels like to me. What the fuck is going on back here? God, I need to ask my mum about them fucking clippers again this week. I need to shave my head, dude. The hair is pissing me off at this point. Yeah, it just... The Damon Albarn's vocals as well on this song just bug the hell out of me. The constant repeating of yeah, yeah, yeah as well just doesn't work at all. Boldark again? Yeah, Boldark coming soon. I don't know when. Hopefully sooner rather than later. It was meant to be a couple weeks ago, man, but I'm still got the fucking hair. Elmo vocals? Exactly. This one's like a... It's like a high 4 for me. This one really doesn't work. Definitely the first miss, and by a big stretch as well. Up next we have Punk. Is it going to be an actual punk song? Doesn't sound like it, no. Oh, it is kind of punky, okay. Seems more like an interlude. I'm still gonna score it though. Okay. Whatever. Kind of a cheeky little song making fun of punk music, I guess. That's where things to say begin and end. I don't know what the hell to say about that, man. It's a 1.5-minute track of Damon Albarn just taking the piss out of punk music. You know, what, like 20 years after the rise of punk music as well. I don't know. It's like a 6, I guess. 6.5. It's okay. It's in the green, I guess. Up next we have Soundcheck.
Gravity on me, never let me down, gently, never with me.
Soundcheck's amazing.
Never let me go, no, no, gravity.
Whoa. This is like the most interesting song instrumentally. The structure is so odd. I kind of love the weird vocal performance as well. That's one of the best songs so far. Seriously, it really is. That song is, it feels like it's the most unique out of every song so far, because it structurally doesn't really make any sense. The song is kind of just feels like it's floating between just kind of different ideas, which I guess makes sense with the kind of gravity theme of the song. Jesus Christ, I can't speak. And then Damon Albarn, his singing on this song, he's sort of like playing two characters almost. Sort of the ridiculous... Maybe it's... This song meant to be about drugs? Because maybe one of them is meant to be him while he's high, and then the other one is meant to be him kind of like coming down. That could maybe be a way I could look at this song. I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah, and then you get to... Yeah, the chorus of this song, well, the chorus of this song is just the instrumental sort of getting a little bit more intense, and just these backing vocals saying, I don't get, sorry, I got no luck at winning, I got no luck. That song's weird as hell, man. It's one of my favorites, though. I think I give that like a 9.2. It's one of the coolest up to this point, definitely. Double bass. Next one's an instrumental. Well, that is a double bass.
Which makes me anxious, at times unbearably so.
Kahoot lobby music, yeah. That's it, the Fuck Jam. This kind of reminds me of the Fuck Jam by Ween. No, not Roundabout. Where it's just sort of this, it's an instrumental, but it's very driving, very... Feels like it's like moving at such a fast pace. It has a lot of glitchy sounds in here. Takes a couple moments to just completely pause. It's kind of reminding me of that. Double bass. Okay. 7. Decent instrumental interlude. Kind of cool in here. Kind of cool to have in here. Sorry. It's got a driving instrumental, I guess. The implementation of the double bass is pretty cool. Some nice keys added throughout the track, some cool like glitchy synths as well that I think sound really nice. Yeah, surprisingly doesn't overstay its welcome either. It's like nearly 5 minutes, but it feels like it warrants its length. Wouldn't come back to it, but wouldn't skip it in album context, so it gets a 7. Rock the House. What is that music visualizer? Is that from the video? It's fucking, I think that's Murdoch wearing a baseball helmet and then some pants that only cover the front. What am I looking at, man?
I know you like that. You wanna try that?
Oh,
it's like a
Funky on the same
flashback. So shake
Safety
your ass
in the
crack.
track.
I got the boss
Right.
to MC rhyme and the DJ spin. I want y'all to just get down. Now while the MC rhyming and the DJ cutting, I want y'all to just get down. And when the MC
Yeah, recorder. They actually have recorder on this song. When do you ever hear a recorder being used in a song? That actually kind of blew me away.
rhyme and the DJ spin, I want y'all to just get down. Now while the MC rhyming and the DJ cutting, I want y'all to just get down. Tap your toes and clap your hands. And the DJ spin, I want y'all to just get down. Now while the MC rhyming and the DJ cutting, I want y'all to just get down. And when
sounds-
the MC
It literally sounds exactly like one of those like bad recorder covers of songs. You know when people just like fucking... I'm trying to think of an example. I can't think of an example of one. But you know, you hear those recorder covers and it just sounds like complete shit, but intentionally so. That's what this sounds like.
and the DJ spin,
Sounds
I
like the
want y'all
Gumball
to just
intro,
get
yeah.
down. Tap your
Titanic.
toes and clap your hands. Come on, trace the globe and shake your pants.
How would I describe a gorilla to someone who's never seen one?
Just
Big
switch
monkey.
your hip and do the dip.
Fucking piano, dude. One of the most fun songs on the whole album. Holy shit. Easily the silliest song on the entire album. And I like that. Having one that's just entirely Dell as well is really cool. I think that his performance on that track... I would argue that his performance on that track is better than on Clint Eastwood. I give that one like a flat 9, to be honest. Yeah. One of the most fun instrumentals, great use of sampling, the fucking recorder, dude. The recorder just sounded so just utterly ridiculous. And that's kind of the whole point of that song, is to be just this ridiculous moment, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that song, man. It's just dumb. It's just a dumb song, and it's like the best example of a dumb song ever. Yes, I guess a flat 9. 192000. Up next. Oh, it's this song. Okay, I've heard this. Oh, this is a meme song. This has become a meme song. There's fucking videos of like cats and shit. He said the thing. He said the thing. You know, I don't think I've ever heard this song in full. I legit think I've only heard the intro because of the amount of fucking memes it's been used in recently. But besides that, I don't think I've heard this song in full.
Here you go, get the cool shine. Get the cool shoe shine.
I had no clue it was even a Gorillaz song. Look at that. Just sudden meme appearance in the middle of the album. Well, towards the back half of the album. Fun track. Great beat. Genuinely. Had no clue that that instrumental was from a Gorillaz song, honestly. Very fun. Very fun. Silly track. You got Noodle doing some vocals on this one, which is pretty cool. I give that song probably like a high, solid to high 8, 8.6, 8.7, somewhere in that range. It's a fun song. Great beat. You know, just another silly one coming after Rock the House. I'm liking the sillier aspects of this album. I think this album works best when it's been a little more ridiculous. And next we have Latin Simone. So loud. Trumpet's kind of going crazy on this one though. Okay. That one's kind of cool. Yeah, I think that, was it Ibrahim Ferreira was his name? Oh, sorry, Ibrahim Ferreira. His vocals are really nice on this one, genuinely. I think that his vocal performance adds some really nice variety on this track. Instrumental sounded really great. The bass was a little loud, I think. I think it was just a little bit overbearing in the mix. But the inclusion of the trumpet in here was really nice. Damon Albarn sort of doing these backing, almost like choir vocals was really cool as well. The song does feel a little awkwardly paced. I will say it does kind of feel like it doesn't really know how long it needs to last and sort of just ends abruptly. But besides that, I think it's an overall pretty solid track. This one's like a high 7 for me. Wouldn't really come back to it on its own, necessarily, but I still think it's a very solid one. Starshine, up next. This one's mid. I hate the panning on this song. Everything has happened on the left, nothing's happened on the right. I hate stuff like that. It just makes everything feel so unbalanced. I mean, I guess you're getting a little bit of the bass on the right, but besides that, everything's going on over here. I really don't like that. I could see a little bit of McCartney influence, I guess, with the vocals at certain points. Definitely can see how this could be influenced by that. That was my least favorite so far, flat 4. That one was just annoying. I really just don't think that song was necessary at all. It's not even just like, oh, the execution of the track isn't for me. I think the song itself just doesn't need to be here. It feels, A, if it is here, it should just be like an interlude, minute-long song maximum. But they drag it out to 3 minutes. And B, it's not even a good execution of a bad idea for a track. It just, everything in the mix is so unbalanced because everything is happening over here. And you just get a little bit of the bass going on in the right. I hate it. I hate when mixes are like that. Yeah, that one was not for me, unfortunately. Oh, slow country, not show country.
Stand your loneliness. Can't stand your loneliness. Can't stand your loneliness. Can't stand your loneliness. Should not lie.
I feel like this one's maybe a little too repetitive. I don't know, it just kind of feels like... I'm liking this one, it's kind of cute, but the repetition doesn't feel like it works quite as well on this one as it has on other songs like Clint Eastwood. I disagree, I think like the windy noise kind of adds to this. That one's another like high 7 for me. I feel like I'd give this one like a 7.7. I think just like a point beneath the Latin Simone song. The desert wind noise is a sample from a special song. I think that that windy noise sort of adds to the atmosphere of this track. I think it's a nice little thing to have in here. Yeah, that song was fun. Another really good track, just not one I think I'd come back to because I think the repetition does kind of get a little bit stale towards the end, but there's enough like changes in like the harmony and the melody and stuff for me to stay interested, I guess. Yeah, slow country. It's like a solid to high 7. It's a good song, just not one I really come back to. Final song, M1A1. Closer is a reggae rock banger. Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Hello? Is anyone there?
Definitely feels like a good playtime in a live show. Said the thing again. Okay. I wasn't too crazy on that one. That song was fine, I guess. I had some fun, punky energy, but I hated the intro, to be honest. Just the repetition of "hello, is anyone there?" over and over again, it just felt kind of awkward. I don't know. I just the first quarter of this song just felt a little. I just felt a little rocky at the start. But then when the instrumental picked up, I thought it was pretty fun. Damon Albarn gave a very ridiculous vocal performance on that one as well, which I think works to elevate the song a lot. But all in all, I just think this song is just kind of awkward in its execution. It's from that one zombie movie, yeah, was it 28 Days Later, I think that's from? Just him in the streets of London. Okay, listen to the 2000 remix for a few seconds. Yeah, I'll play a little bit of it in a sec. I would give that song, I think a high 6. like a 6.9, just below a 7. I think it's still in the green. I think it's just below what I would consider to be like good but not great. I just think it's a little too clunky, I guess. Maybe on a re-listen it'll grow on me, but as of right now, I just think it is a little bit of an awkwardly put together track, all in all. That was Gorillaz' self-titled album. It's a fun album. Final score is a 75.5. Sounds about right, yeah. It's a good album, but not quite a great album. You can definitely see them, or you can definitely feel them kind of figuring it out as they're going along. And you sort of see the things that work really well and the things that are definite missteps that I feel like they would honestly go on to perfect on Demon Days and Plastic Beach. But still, I think this is genuinely a solid album to start on. Plenty of great tracks on here. You, of course, have, like, Tomorrow Comes Today and also Soundcheck as well. Like, plenty of fantastic, fun, trip-hop inspired tracks. And I think this is genuinely a very solid way to start off the Gorillaz discography. It feels like a good, I guess, on-ramp for the band and a great way for them to, I guess, sort of figure out what does and doesn't work. So yeah, good album, just not quite a great album. They definitely figured it out on Demon Days. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below. How do you think it works as a debut for Gorillaz? How does it compare to their other albums, stuff like that? Let me know what other albums you'd like to see me listen to down below in the future. Links in the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, and my second channel. Check those out if you haven't. Like and sub if you haven't as well. And yeah, I'll see you all whenever an next streamer upload. Bye bye.